birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. That was in Atlanta. Yeah, keep it going. Keep it going. Happy birthday. Yes, sir. That is in Atlanta. That was mayor of Atlanta, Keisha Lance Bottom. Hey, girl. Keisha Lance Bottom singing with a room full of people. You can hear their voices just singing just as loud. You can hear them nice and clear because none of them were wearing a mask. They were singing happy birthday to Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Mr. Wear a Mask. Social distancing. Remember his rallies? There was like 8 people. And like half of them were his crew. You know, because they're, mitigation. Wear a mask. Keep things safe. Living in his basement for a while. I don't know if he had a, PlayStation down there or anything like that. Keep it going. No. Don't stop. This is Joe's birthday. Come on. Joe getting sung to. In what looked like a plantation dining room. Joe Biden is surrounded by a bunch of black people in a plantation. Oh man, I tell you what. He was getting sung to by Keisha Lance Bottom and a lot of people. Again, no mask. There was no social distancing. At one point, Joe puts his arm around Keisha Lance Bottom. And he puts his arm around her shoulder. Puts his arm around her shoulder, and she turns to him kind of lovingly. Kind of the friendly gaze. That women are able to give men, to let them know that they're appreciated. They don't, nothing serious. Just let them know that they're appreciated. We appreciate you, sir. So she sings. She continues to sing in Sleepy Joe's face. This, of course, after they tell you not to even stand next to anybody and to definitely wear a mask. Because that's working. Those are that's working. But this seems to be like an ongoing thing, right? It's them telling us, and I mean them, the experts, the politicians, and the epidemiologists, so whomever, and the Hollywood elites, telling us all wear a mask, social distance, stay at home, don't gather. That seems to be like the theme right now. What is happening? Because plenty of us are willing to go along with this. We're just willing to go along with it, right? Many of us are just cowering in corners. I'm going to give you a couple of stories here. And as I give you these stories, the chances are that you are going to eventually take your head and put it between the door frame and open the door. So you lean your head up against the door frame, and then you open the door. You probably want to do that in reverse. And then you're going to start slamming the door on the other side of your head. That's, of course, not leaning against the door. You're just going to slam it. Either that or you're going to punch the first stranger you see. As I tell you these stories, And I want you to start recognizing what is actually happening to us. I'm going to start off with Sam Liccardo. Sam Liccardo is the mayor of San Jose. Sam Liccardo wrote, I apologize for my decision to gather for Thanksgiving with my family, contrary to the rules. Rules, he says. Rules. He called them. I understand my obligation as a public official to provide exemplary compliance with public health orders and not to ignore them. I commit to do better. That is what Sam Liccardo wrote after he was caught going to a whole other city to spend time with his family for Thanksgiving that included his elderly parents. London Breed in San Francisco. London Breed is the mayor of San Francisco. London Breed spent a 60th birthday for one of her socialite friends at the French Laundry. You say the French Laundry sounds familiar. What is the French Laundry? The French Laundry is where Gavin Newsom was caught with 24 of his bestie friendsies after he told everybody don't gather in groups of 10. He was caught with 24 of his friends. And those friends, this was another birthday party for, we'll call it a socialite friend. Similar to London Breed's friend. Gavin Newsom's little party was interesting because it had many of the people that were there were actually public health officials that helped him lay down the rules for California and how to handle COVID, which included don't gather, don't eat, don't dine in enclosed spaces, don't gather in groups of 10, wear a mask. None of those things they comply to after that. And then he flies off to Hawaii. Like a week later, after he apologized, hey, look, and it was like literally one of those apologies. Hey, look, man, we all make mistakes. he makes some goofball apology. I'm sorry, man. Look, I owe you one. I'll buy you a sandwich. He apologizes for breaking his own rules that he expects you to follow. And then he flies off to Hawaii.
Hey, look, Gavin's got a lot of work to do, so, he's doing a lot of my bidding. So, you're just going to have to let him slide on that.
Look, as Gavin works for Satan, London Breed wanted to send a message. This is just before. This was on November 10th. She tells you don't do anything, and then she goes ahead and does things. She wrote this. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is that everyone act responsibly to reduce the spread of the virus. Every San Franciscan needs to do their part so that we can start moving in the right direction again. Keep in mind that the San Francisco 49ers, the football team in San Francisco, the professional football team in San Francisco, is not allowed to play in their own stadium. Why? Because London Breed said she wants to ban all contact sports. All contact sports. So the professional football team in San Francisco has to play in Arizona because she laid down the rules that she's not even willing to abide by. Yes. Everyone else, do as I say. I'm going to be me. Los Angeles County, California, I could have made this a lot shorter if I would have just said, are you sick of the COVID rules? California. And the show would have been done. You would have all understood. what I was talking about. Los Angeles County Supervisor Sheila Kuehl. Oh, Sheila Kuehl. Sheila Kuehl was doing her part to save small business during the awful scourge that this pandemic is cast upon us all. She contributed by dining at Il Forno Trattoria. I'm sure I'm saying that right. And an Italian restaurant, Inferno Trattoria, is an Italian restaurant near her home that she described as one of her favorite places to dine. A spokesperson for Kuehl said she did dine al fresco at Il Forno on the very last day that was permissible. She loves El Forno and is saddened to see it, like so many other businesses, suffer from a decline in revenue. She ate there, taking the appropriate precautions, and sadly will not dine there again until public health orders permit. The public health orders that this spokesperson dude girl thingy was talking about were actually implemented just hours before Supervisor Kuehl was seen eating at Il Forno Trattoria. Hours before, indeed. Health measures that she voted yes on. Yes, son, you shouldn't gather. Yes, you should wear a mask. Yes, these places should be closed down. Yes, ban outdoor dining. Seen eating outdoors after she said don't eat outdoors. I got to get away from California. Public health is indeed important. California is spitting in your eye on that. Public schools, Frederick Douglass High School and Henry W. Grady High School in Atlanta, finally away from California, will finally be opened. That's great news. They'll be open to Marvel Studios to film the new Spider-Man movie, but will remain closed for students to learn anything. Look, I'm completely stoked for Tom Holland's and his next portrayal of our friendly neighborhood web slinger doing his thing. Our favorite little smart aleck, getting the job done, saving the day. I'm all ready for the next movie, the next installment, indeed. Although, how long are we going to let Hollywood do this to us? Just live the hypocrisy. I get it. I love the movies too. I want movies. It's what's saving some of us from like not strangling people. It's our only sense of sanity. It's how we get outside right now. I get it. Seriously, how long are we just good? Because right now Hollywood is allowed to do anything. They have special permission to just do anything, while the rest of us suffer and wait to spend our hard-earned, and now even harder-earned money to pay for their lavish lifestyles. They get to live the way they want, And we get to wait. We get to wait until we're allowed to go outside or we're allowed to gather with anyone. Bite me. Jeez almighty. Nurse gets on TikTok and makes some goofy video about people freaking out when she admits that she doesn't always wear a mask in public. She gets put on leave. Nurse gets on national television and says she's heartbroken about so many of her patients that have died of COVID, have refused to believe that they're dying of COVID. She says they want some sort of magic pill. And as their last words, they're admitting they don't believe it's COVID, that they're dying of COVID. Their last words are, COVID is not real. And come to find out that this woman, this nurse, the hospital she works in has experienced roughly 6 COVID deaths, and it's very unlikely that where she works in that hospital, that she has experienced any of those deaths. She gets to disappear in the protective ether of the news media. Nothing happens to her. Goofy video. I don't wear a mask. I don't always wear a mask. She makes a goofy video. This woman lies about dying people, refusing to believe that COVID is real. There are very, very few people. Very few people. And I get this a lot. I get this a lot. When I say we're handling it wrong, people think that I'm saying COVID's not real. Stop being a dunce. COVID is very real. No one has denied that COVID is real. No one has done that. Well, I take that back. I did say earlier that some people, that is very few people that believe that COVID is not real. But COVID is real. This COVID-19 is real. But how does this woman get on national television, and how does CNN, because it was of course on CNN, how does CNN, without any verification, give this woman the light of day, give this woman time on their cameras? They don't know who she was. She just said something that they like. Something that just would drag the Trump administration across the coals. So there's where we're at on that. So Gavin Newsom and his double douching. Back to that. Eating the French Laundry after he told you not to, and then flying off to Hawaii a week later after he apologizes like only a douche would. So flies off to Hawaii for some lavish conference. Chicago's Lori Lightfoot, remember? She got the beady beady. Got the beady beadies trimmed. Even after she told you that, you can't do that, you shouldn't be doing that, you won't do that, I'm closing our barbershops, don't get your hair did, kind of thing. Cuomo inviting his mom after he says, you should stay away from each other. Oh, you stay away from each other over there. Ventilators. Stay away from each other. If you love your family, stay away from your family. Don't invite them over. Make up some excuse. I hate you. Don't come over. Cuomo says, don't gather with outside of your immediate household. And then meanwhile, he's like, Mom, I don't love you. Please come over. Yes, Mom, I really can't stand you. Please, if there's any way I can give you COVID, please, by all means, let me know. He invites his mom and his daughter, who's out of town, like in another state, to come because he doesn't love them. Because he said, if you love them, don't gather with them. So, mom, daughter, come on over. You're the two I dislike the most. The joke was that Chris Cuomo, Chris Cuomo was going to be there. I don't think they like each other that much. They're so cute together on CNN. No. They're good at selling their point. And a little comedic brotherly riff thing. It sells a point. Women love that. It's true. What am I lying? Oh, now I'm a misogynist. Here we go. And Denver, the Denver mayor, so a lot of these stories I've mentioned before, but that's my thing. That's my point of what I'm trying to get at. The Denver mayor, let me get back to him real quick. The Denver mayor says, don't fly, don't gather with your family, stay home, wear a mask, blah, 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 blah. The man says that, and a half hour later, gets on a plane, flies from Denver, Colorado to Mississippi to be with his daughter's family and I believe his mom. He tells you that. So the list is endless. Burks, wear a mask, don't wear a mask. Burks on TV. Burks was wearing a mask. He's doing an interview. Burks is wearing a mask. Fauci, on the same day, does an interview. Fauci's not wearing a mask. Anyone? Anyone want to help me on this? I've got to know how long, we're willing to put up with this. How long are we willing to let the Hollywood live in their, they're doing videos from their massive house telling you, stay home. Stay home. Keep people safe. Tell them that you love them. Tell them that you love me. How long are the night shows going to do this Zoom thing? Drew Barrymore starts her show in the studio. She literally has social distancing in her studio. They're not wearing masks. Of course, there's ventilated ventilators. So Drew gets her show off. I'm not saying one way or the other if it's good or anything, but she's sitting in the studio. They're doing the social distancing thing. But meanwhile, somehow Jimmy Fallon can't find a way to do the same. They have 3 or 4 seats that are next to him. Take the first one out. This is just me blue collar hammering out a solution. Take the first seat out. Boom. Everybody 6 feet away from each other. Don't hug. The band can even social distance. They've got plenty of space over there. Have you seen the show? It sucks. Have you seen the show? There's plenty of space where these people can social distance. Oh, we can't have the crowd there. You have a smaller crowd. Right? Football's doing it. Why can't these shows happen in the studios? What is happening here? Virtue signaling, of course. But how long are we going to let Hollywood convince us that we're doing the right thing by doing the things that we don't want to do? Because they're certainly gathering. They have all the permission in the world to make They're flying to Atlanta to do Spider-Man. They're making their living. They're working. And it's ironic that Hollywood, those entertainers, cannot exist without entertaining us. So how is it that they have special permission, but we don't? Do I want them to take away their special permission? No, I want them to get off of our necks. That's what I want. That's what I want. You've given us the dry guidelines, the mitigation, the the mask, you know, protect the elderlies, protect the vulnerables. You've given us all those dry guidelines. Now, get out of our way. Just get out of our way. Because all those dry guidelines are not stopping the virus. They're certainly not stopping the virus, right? The numbers go up every day. You know you're wearing a mask. You see everyone else wearing a mask. Well, I did see someone walking on the street, but I don't think that's what is spreading, or I should say, growing these numbers. The mitigation and the mask and avoiding each other, it's not working. This virus is doing what it's supposed to do. Spread. Some people are going to be more affected than others. Meanwhile, we're cowering in the corners. We're mad at one another. We're not seeing our loved ones. Somehow we've accepted all other means of death by contagion. We've accepted all other means of death by contagion. But this is the one that's keeping you from your loved ones. This is the one. Right? Because you go to your family on the holidays while you're sick, right? And you almost don't care. You don't wear a mask. You've done it before, right? As a matter of fact, you have to be on your butt. You have to be almost not be able to function in order to miss the holiday, because you're sick. So why is this one with a 0.06 death rate, why is this one the one that has you locked up in your home? That has you fighting mad because someone's not wearing a mask? That has you like looking over your shoulder to make sure that that person is 6 feet away from you. At least 6 feet away from you. I say gather. A lot of people did. The numbers, the travel numbers for Thanksgiving were almost astronomical, which to me was exciting. You know, then they're going to come back and they're going to say, "Wow, see, because you guys went Thanksgiving and you guys look at the numbers spiked." Well, on the numbers that we're going to get within the next few days about that show any rise in the COVID-19 cases are numbers that are going to be added on that they did not record because everyone was on break. They've done it before. Here in Ohio, they were giving us numbers in April of people that died supposedly in January. They backtrack numbers. Which means that in some cases, they're making up numbers. Now, I'm not saying that they're making up all the numbers. I'm saying that they've already told us, that people die of other things and they say that they had COVID, so that's a COVID death. They've said that. He can get shot in the face. He had COVID. COVID death. They count it. That's what they count it. I say gather. Don't if you were afraid, because I do know people that were afraid to gather for Thanksgiving because they were told, you're a bad person if you gather for Thanksgiving. If you miss Thanksgiving, do not miss Christmas with your family. Don't miss Christmas with your loved ones. Far too important. We literally slow the country down. We celebrate the birth of Christ. Now, whether you believe he was born in the winter or the spring, that's neither here nor there. I tend to lean that he was born in the spring. But I like the idea that we stop and we think about Christ. we think about love, it slow down. I like the idea that it's a neat plan to boost the, a last minute boost in the economy. I like that. Michelle Obama said, even before Barack was president, we have to change our traditions. That's the whole thing here. They're changing American traditions. And change is inevitable. Change is inevitable. But what they're doing to us now is it's it's treasonous. It's treasonous. They're literally chipping away at us from inside. They're literally destroying us from inside. It's the plan. I get it, but more of us have to be able to recognize that. And it doesn't mean stop change. It doesn't mean stop change. Change can happen. Again, I say gather. No one's telling you to, you know, cough in grandma's face or lick your mom and dad's face when you gather. You can take the precautions. You know. You know what's best for you. You know how to handle this. Again, you have the dry guidelines on how to handle this thing. How to handle this thing. And you can do this. Do not start taking away the last few celebrations that you will have with some of these people for something that has not killed much more than any other virus. Again, you can't. How are we afraid of this 0.06? No one wants to die. But are you that afraid of death? That you're just willing to just throw everything out? It's just the baby with the bathwater thing. They're moving the Overton window. They're moving the Overton window. And they're good at it. But they're only good at it because so many of us are just letting them do it. We're just not enough of us are paying attention. These people, these politicians, these social medias, these experts, these cronies, the Marxists, they're changing who we are. I say changing because it's working. They're changing us. And I say it because it is working. Think about the a-hole examples I just gave you. They demand that you listen to them because they supposedly know what's best for you. But then they break their very own rules, quote unquote rules, that they laid down for their constituents. Then when they're called out on it, they just say, I'm sorry. And that's enough for people. That's enough for some people. For others, they hate, but they just accept. They hate these people, but they just accept it because they give it the it is what it is statement. Look, if we're not going to pay attention, they're just going to run roughshod over us, which is exactly what's going on right now. So that's why when people stand up or start revealing things, they come in, they start, your social media starts shutting you down, they start calling you a liar, what have you. Don't let them take away your Christmas. Don't let them take away your Christmas. You have the safety guidelines. You quite frankly, you've always known the safety guidelines. You know that if you go into a hospital and someone's, vulnerable or something like that, they make you put on a mask or gloves or a gown. You've known that. They clean up the area. They have you sit, away. You yourself, if somebody's coughs, you're like, oh, stay away from me. These are all things that you've known, that you've joked about. And somehow, you're just willing to throw your family traditions out the window, knowing that you can, knowing that you can handle this. Don't cave in. Don't cave in. These people are running a game. Again, they are breaking down American traditions, which means breaking down America. It just is. And just is. And then whoever scoffs at that, or lies, or laughs, I should say, whoever scoffs at that, or calls you a nut for saying those things, just question what their motivation is when they say that. Just question it. I'm not saying knock them back or get rid of them or what have you. I'm just question their motivation for saying that. They are trying to change the country. And I want to end this with something we can all agree on. Change is inevitable. Indeed. But change does not have to happen at the expense of the truth. Thanks for joining me in this episode. Before I go, rumble.com. Rumble.com. Thank you. Rumble has decided that they will take a chance on me. They will take a chance on me. So yes, I'm rolling in the dough. Okay, not really, but I can if I get better at this and you keep watching. I got a bunch of followers. Thank you to all my followers. Thank you so much. This is going to be a fun ride because I love doing this. And if I'm missing, please, I apologize in advance, and I will apologize over and over again. If I'm missing from your screen or from your speakers one day, because remember, I do these as a radio show. I do these like a radio show, so you don't have to look at this if you don't want to. But I want to say thank you. But if I'm missing, please, I apologize. I have a handicapped son. And sometimes taking care of him outweighs me being able to get just a little bit of time to do this. So please be patient with me. I will try to make my episodes entertaining so that when you do come back, it is worth coming back to. But thank you, rumble.com. Thank you to all my new followers. I am so excited about what's happening to me and my little idea right now. So again, thank you. God bless you. This was not a morning flyby. So, but it is kind of like an extension of my idea. So, thank you again. But even though it wasn't a morning flyby, I always like to close by telling you, big hug, be good, be still, enjoy your life.